What's going on, guys? The Barber Phil here, back again with another haircut tutorial. And in today's tutorial we've got a major transformation, the big chop. My man just started a new job. He wears a helmet at work and said it's getting way too hot, so we're gonna help him out, restart season and start letting the regrow begin. Make sure you guys stick around from the beginning to the end, see how we got from point A to point B. Alright guys, so I'm going to start things off with a closed 6 guard on the Ergo, and we're going to take it in every different direction that we can, similar to what you would do when you were cutting waves, but that's not the go here. Obviously all we're trying to do really is just knock it down and then do a high taper up into it. I do come in behind this 6 guard and end up doing a 5 guard, and then from there I'm going to slowly start to try to connect the sides into the top, and then we can fade up into that, or down, because y'all know I fade down from there. But I just wanted to go ahead and talk about for a second the Ergos and their ability to really just take down all that bulk right there without a single issue. I did have a little bit of, not concern, but I was a little skeptical, I guess if you will, before I started. And I'll be honest guys, the Ergos, they fed all that hair no problem, didn't have a single issue, and so I was pretty happy to see that. Alright guys, so I started with a 6 guard, then we followed that up with a 5 guard. What I have here is a 3 guard, and where the round of his head on top starts to round over to the sides, I'm taking this 3 guard right on that parietal ridge area, and I'm just going down with the growth of the hair just to kind of debulk that a little bit more. I'm going to follow it up by starting with our cordless detailers. We're going to tap in the bald line from the round of his ear on the left to the bottom of his vertical bar on the right. And then we will flick that trimmer over, and we'll flip it over, flick that line out, and then from there we can start the taper. So after we have successfully flicked out that detailer line, that is, you can call it a section if you want. I don't try to do like a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch section with that detailer, but I do try to make sure that whatever line that I tapped in, I did flick out so that I can come in with a closed Ergo and immediately be able to take that line out when I get down to it. Once we've got that done, I've got an open 2 guard here, and we're just trying to float it up the side here and connect it into the 3 guard that we just did down with the growth of the hair. So this is what's really going to kind of clear out this whole side panel, and then from there we can start doing the open section and really tie it all together. So because this is a tad bit of a smaller area, we're not going to do as large of an open section. This is only about 1/2 inch or so, and then I'll slowly close that lever up. We'll take about half of the section that we just put in there out, and then you can close it up all the way, buff out that bottom line that we flicked out with the detailer, and then the open section is done. Now one thing that I do similar here that I've been doing is the half open 1.5 guard, flicking that up into that 2 guard. But something I did do a little bit different, I was testing out the guards that come with the Ergo. They're a single magnet guard, and the teeth on them are a little bit sharper, so I was curious as to whether or not they would cut any shorter. This was the 0 guard. Measurement wise on the guard, it says it's the same as the premium half guard. You know, that's debatable. I still say the premium guard from Wahl cuts it a little bit shorter, but I did like the way it fed the hair, so that's an option if you do buy an Ergo, that you can use the guards that do come with it. So we're going to fold the ear down, go ahead, start doing that round about his ear, making sure that we're using just the corners of our blade. And I am going to continue to take that comb and really brush the hair past the line, over directed, so that we can get any hair that may fall over the line. We're going to go ahead and get that cleaned up so that no matter how he sleeps, how he lays, whether he wears a hat, a helmet at work like he said, that hair and the hairline are always going to be sharp, because we took that extra few seconds, used that comb and really brushed it over the line and got him set straight. Now I had a couple spots here that I am going to work on some detail. This is back to the open 2 guard. We're just going to continue to flick up into that 3 guard that we did a second ago, and then I believe I do come back in with the probably half to 3/4 of the way open 1.5 guard, just trying to lighten up that area just above there, and then now we can get right into this back taper. So basically what I'm doing here, I am going ahead, taking an open 2 guard and flicking up into that 3 guard that we did down with the growth of the hair on the parietal ridge area. I'm going to go ahead and do that as well on the side here above the ear, just to kind of lighten that up as well. And then I'm going to take the 2 guard closed, go ahead and take it down with the growth of the hair, kind of in the same area that we did that 3 guard, just to try to continue to connect everything together. And then we'll start on that back taper. So we're going to take our FXs, which is the trimmer that hits the hardest and cuts the closest, and I'm going to take that to almost the bottom of the earlobe, and then we'll flick that out immediately with the cordless detailers. This is kind of almost a little 1/4 of an inch section, just to make sure that we've got that full FX line buffed out. And then from there you can get into your open section using whatever clipper that you prefer with your open section. I of course am going with the Ergos, because I absolutely love these. If you haven't tried those out, I highly suggest that you get your hands on them, give them a shot. We're doing about a full 1-inch section here for the open section, and then from there you go ahead, actually it may even be a tad bit more than an inch. It may be like 1 1/4 inch, but that's, then you're starting to get into minuscule numbers. But we're going to close that lever up halfway, go about halfway to 3/4 of the way up through that open section. You guys can really see me flicking out at the top once I get almost to where we started that open section, and then you can close the lever up all the way at the bottom. Just flick it through there at that bottom line that you just flicked out with the detailer, and it comes all together. So there you go, you got FX, detailer, closed, half open, and open, all right there in that section. And then from there it's just a matter of connecting the open section up into that 2 guard that we just did, and you guys know how it is. We're going to do the half open 1.5 guard, flick up into that 2 guard. That'll go ahead and set us up to come in for that kill shot with the half guard, half open. It'll blend right out. You may have to come in, do a little bit of detail work, but I guarantee you for the most part here in just a second, when that half guard gets put on there, that line's going to disappear pretty easy, and it's pretty satisfying to watch. Alright guys, so I actually psyched myself out. I recorded this video and then did the voiceover separate days, and I totally forgot. This is another time here where I came in and used the 0 guard that came with the Ergo, but I did the same thing. I started with it half open and I was testing it out, and it did the same thing, guys. It pretty much just blended it right out. Like I said, the guards that come with the Ergo, the teeth on them at the end are a tad bit sharper, so you'd have to be, if you're a hard-handed barber, I highly suggest you don't use them, because you will continue to just poke your people and stab them, and it's not comfortable. But if you're a light-handed barber, the guards do feed pretty well, and they stayed very attached to the clipper, so they're definitely a viable option if you guys do decide to use them. But now we're using the FXs, continuing to fold down the ear. You guys can see those few little hairs that came over that line. We went ahead, knocked those out. We're gonna make this a nice sharp line, keep it natural down the back, and you can see a little bit. You've got the high taper on the back, high taper on the temple area, and it's just a little bit darker in between, just to kind of give some separation and some gradients between one fade to the other fade. Now, I guess at the time I did decide that it was a little bit darker than what I liked, so I'm coming in with the half open 1.5 guard, and we're just going to flick up through here just to try to connect it all together. Some people prefer to leave that a little bit darker above the ear, and I think I'm still struggling with figuring out what's too dark above the ear in a high taper like this and what's not dark enough. So you guys let me know if y'all preferred before that 1.5 guard there, or if how I did it afterwards if you guys thought that looked better. So I wanted to take a second on this side, guys, while it's pretty sped up, and I wanted to talk to you guys about the new goals for the channel. First off, I want to start by saying I am so grateful for everybody that watches even a single second of my channel. I couldn't be more grateful for all of you guys. Y'all know that my attitude in this game is, you know, never be satisfied, always strive for more, and not in a greedy sense, but just, you know, don't ever be complacent. And so I know we just hit 1K. I think we could be getting close to 2K here before too long, but my real goal for the end of the year is 5K. We got a brand new shop coming here in a little bit, so there's gonna be content coming out from that new shop in a little over a month or so. So I'm hoping to get some boost from that, guys. But if you're one of those that has watched a video of mine, watching this video right now, and you're not subscribed, I'm urging you to go ahead, take a second, hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, help me out. Let's get to that 5K by the end of the year. Alright, so you guys saw me use my comb there, and I lifted up the hair that was hanging over in the bangs. What I wanted to see was where his natural hairline was, because of course we don't want to take a guess as to how high we can go up in there and then cut into his natural hairline. We wanted to leave it just a hair longer than where that natural line is, just so that we can save ourselves any fear of pushback. And then we're going to use the detailers. I'm not really sure what made me use the detailers over the FXs in this particular instance, but I did. I actually do think I come back in with the FXs in a minute and touch up a few spots. But we started in the middle, we worked off to the left, used that comb, kind of brush all that hair out of the way, and you're kind of brushing the hair back down, making sure that you get anything that's hanging over cleaned up. Like right there in the corner, there's a few hairs, depending on how you comb the hair, that are going to hang over, and then they may not other times. You do a light vertical bar there, and then you're going to come in. I'm going to start fading out the beard. It's going to be pretty much the same steps as fading up. You're just going to kind of fade your way down through it. So just a quick rundown on the beard there. We just did closed, half open, all the way open, and you're slowly working that down. Then we took a 1.5 open, flicked right at around the bottom of the earlobe there, up into that open section that we did. You can slightly close it up some if that's not working. And then if you close it up all the way and take it down with the growth of the hair, at least at this hair length, it should blend right out. We're using the FXs, just do a rough draft on that top line, get all the extra cheek hair out of the way, and then of course a sharp line in the back really makes a beard pop. So that's just a quick rundown, guys, on shaping up the beards as far as fading it out. You know, you never, even if a client doesn't book a beard service, please do not ever leave their sideburns blunt like that. Don't take a trimmer right into it, do a bald fade, and then just leave their sideburns blunt. At least take a few seconds and blend out that top line. Now, as far as the razor work goes, stretch that skin, hold the razor at a 45-degree angle, bring the razor back to that top line at its highest point, and as long as your client can handle dry shaving and you put a brand new razor on there, you should be good to go. If they do have sensitive skin, just apply a little bit of 245 shave gel and you'll be good to go. Alright guys, so here's the before. Guys, hit me up in the comment section like I said, and let me know what your thoughts are on these hot tapers and the area particularly above the ears. Whether you like to leave it darker or you like to fade it out more like I ended up doing. Help me out, I am curious. I know it's probably a preference thing, but I'd like to hear your opinions on that. In the meantime, guys, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, that way you never miss another video from me. I do post every Sunday and Wednesday. The videos usually drop around 4 Central Standard Time, so I greatly appreciate all you guys that have been tuning in. Let's try to get this channel to 5K by the end of the year. In order to do that, we're gonna have to flip those analytics. If you're watching this channel and you're not subscribed, please help me out. 70% of the viewers are not subscribed, which is mind-blowing to me. So I'm hoping to get that flipped around. Anyways, guys, we'll catch you in the next video on Wednesday. I'm the Barber Phil, and I appreciate you guys. Until the next video, I'm out.